Alright, I seen this video and as a Mushoku Tensei defender, I felt interested to see what was going on in this one. We got Frieren versus Mushoku Tensei.
Which anime is better, Frieren or Mushoku Tensei? I swear I'm not trying to stir up drama or anything. I'm actually making this video to satisfy my own curiosity because these two anime are surprisingly similar, yet
Look, alright, I'm gonna keep this a buck, right? When I say this, I don't care what no one says, right? Mushoku Tensei will probably be top 10. Mushoku Tensei will probably be Mal top 10 if people didn't hate Rudius so much. If Rudius didn't have all that Sigma behind him, all the hate with all the niggas that want to stand on their moral high horses and complain about him and his character for, Mushoku Tensei would be top 10, bro.
I honestly don't know which one is better, so that's what we're about to fucking find out. Best protagonist. Rudius and Frieren are both powerful mages who really like chess, but Mushoku Tensei is literally the story of Rudy's character development, so this category is almost not even fair.
Not even fair. You know what? I like you already. I like you already. He likes to keep it a buck. I've been the strongest advocate for the character development of Rudius and how a show has not even come close to the character development we see in Rudius, bro. So I like to hear Mushoku Tensei only popular because people think getting laid is good. That's all there is to it. Macron, shut up, bro. Macron, please stop talking.
Flashbacks of Frieren from like 80 years ago, and she's literally the exact same character that she is now. So you can't tell me she gets more development than Rudius, because while Rudy's out there improving himself and becoming a better person, Frieren is like barely even a person. Before you post that comment though, I know what you're thinking. At least Frieren isn't a pedo. That's a valid point, but then again, it's just fiction, and
dang,
also,
oh my goodness, I love this guy. Oh my goodness, I love this guy, bro. Someone that is not an actual dumbass motherfucker is making a video, boy. I love it. I really love it, bro. Someone that can tell the difference between fiction and nonfiction, but I love when I come across a motherfucker like this, bro, because it seems like they don't exist anymore. It seems like these motherfuckers don't exist anymore in the anime community. I'm so glad to see that there's still people that got a brain on their head, bro.
Hasn't been confirmed yet, but if she did, then yeah, bro, she is 974 years older than him. That's a 2-figure age gap. That's like if you started dating a girl who hasn't even left her dad's balls yet. Regardless, it's undeniable that Frieren is significantly more welcoming than Mushoku Tensei. Some of you love Rudius, and some of you hate Rudius, but nobody hates Frieren, and for that, I think she deserves a point. However, I'm giving one to Rudius too, because while Frieren feels like a character, Rudy feels more like a person. And yeah, I'm using oranges to represent points because I know at least one of you is gonna say, you can't compare apples to oranges because they're different. Wrong. Oranges are better than apples. They have more vitamins, less calories, they smell better, the peel protects it from bugs, there's no cock-blocking core in the middle, the fruit comes in convenient bite-sized slices, and you don't even have to wash them. The orange is such a superior fruit that they even named the color after it, and nothing fucking rhymes with it either. This video isn't sponsored by oranges though. It's actually sponsored by AFK Arena.
Oh, sniped.
AFK Arena for sponsoring this video. Best fight scene. This category is not about which anime has better fight scenes, because that gets more into the territory of best animation, so this category is simply for one scene only. Out of all of Mushoku Tensei and all of Frieren, what was the best fight scene? I know what it is. You know what it is. I think we all know what it is. Frieren versus Frieren was such an amazing fight because it exceeded our expectations even though they were extremely high to begin with. Since the first episode, Frieren has been built up as an extremely powerful mage who was so strong that she never needed to go all out, until her opponent was literally a clone of herself. This fight scene was so amazing because on paper it should have been impossible to make, yet somehow they did it justice anyway, and that's why Frieren deserves this award. I mean, orange. Best soundtrack. This is dead even, boys. I got both soundtracks on the same playlist.
Look. You know, music is a subjective thing, right? Music's a subjective thing. So I can't get mad at this. If you like both of them, you like both of them. But come on, bro. Come on, bro. Mushoku Tensei's OST is something. It's something. No, but it's something special, boy. It's something special. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that.
List, and I love them equally. Mushoku Tensei's music is so fitting and nostalgic, but Frieren's music is literally Shire music from Lord of the Rings. So I don't know, guys. I guess if you threatened me with a dildo and forced me to choose a winner, I'd pick Frieren simply because Frieren music hasn't gotten me a copyright claim yet, but this category is way too close to choose a winner, so I'm giving both anime a participation trophy. Except it's not a trophy, it's just a orange. Best waifus. In case you didn't know, Frieren herself is not really a waifu. She might look like a waifu, but in reality she's more like a majestic creature that we should admire from afar. We don't fuck Frieren, boys. Our measly human dicks are unworthy of such beauty. Siri can get it. Though. Some of you are super into fern, but I don't really understand that. Personally, I like it when a woman has a giant bush, so Sense is actually my favorite waifu, other than Ubel, obviously. Ubel might cut it off, but it's worth the risk because she's basically Elsa from ReZero except greener, which means she's better for the environment because she helps to cut down on carbon emissions. Ubel is so hot that due to the anime's lack of fan service, we've resorted to sexualizing random body parts like the armpit. Anyway, Frieren deserves 1 orange for putting up a decent fight, but Mushoku Tensei is leaving here with 2. I mean, aside from the 3 main girls, Mushoku Tensei also has Sarah, Nanahoshi, Nina, Rinia, Persena, Ariel, Silveril, Atofe, Roxy's mom, Elaine, Lilia, Rada, Ginger, Orsted, and Elise. That's just a few off the top of my head, but don't even get me started on Sylphie, Eris, and God forbid, Roxy. Best storytelling. This category is actually the reason I made this video because it's one of the things that makes these anime so similar.
Right. Look, I'm actually interested to hear that because, you know, I was talking to my friend the other day about what makes Frieren so special, and he said it's the storytelling, right? So it's interesting to hear a fan of both, and I should ask him this because he likes both of them too. But what's the difference between Mushoku Tensei's storytelling and Frieren's storytelling? That's what I want to know.
Both Mushoku Tensei and Frieren are structured exactly the same. At their core, each is a slice of life anime, except with an occasional detour that may involve some fighting or drama, like how both series have an arc where the main character tries to go to magic school and somehow ends up clearing a dungeon. The advantage Frieren has in this category is the quality of storytelling you can find in the small details that don't really matter, like this old man who only appears in episode 16. His small isolated story about protecting the village for his late wife was better than the main story of most other anime. We probably won't ever see this guy again, yet I'll remember how beautiful and profound his story was. That's just one example, but every side quest in Frieren is just as good as that one. Mushoku Tensei differs in the sense that it does an amazing job tying every side quest together. For example, Rudy goes shopping for a new house, but it turns out the house is haunted, so he has to fight a ghost that ends up being a doll, which Rudy gives to the side character who's obsessed with dolls, which allows another side character who's a magic nerd to make an observation that resolves another side character's completely unrelated issue. Everything in Mushoku Tensei ties together like this, and it's just amazing watching the author weave different events together so effortlessly. The storytelling is my favorite part of both Frieren and Mushoku Tensei, so I'm giving 3 oranges to both anime.
Wow, that's crazy,
Best
man.
animation. These anime look very similar in terms of animation and just in general too. I didn't even bother comparing sceneries and visuals because they're pretty much interchangeable in my opinion. A landscape from Frieren would look totally natural.
That's crazy, bro. I really, now I'm very curious. Now I wonder, like, I really want to know for the people that got Frieren for 10s, the people that have Frieren as a 10, what they have Mushoku Tensei and why. Because now I'm genuinely, I want to know. I want to know what's the reason why Mushoku Tensei isn't a top 10 on my anime list. I'm very interested now. I gotta know. I gotta know.
If you saw it in Mushoku Tensei and vice versa. The animation is very similar as well, but Mushoku Tensei's Red Dragon looked better than the one in Frieren, and don't even get me started on Mushoku Tensei's bread. It cost them some bread to animate that bread. Frieren's fight scenes are generally a bit better than Mushoku Tensei's fight scenes, but Mushoku Tensei's fight scenes are usually melee oriented, and there's also a lot more of them. This is another category where both series are getting 2 oranges, except I'm gonna let Frieren take one from Mushoku Tensei because Frieren aired 28 episodes back to back without taking a break or lowering its quality standards. In fact, some of the last episodes of the season had the highest quality overall, and that's something I really admire. I hate it when studios decide to split a season in half because the hype always dies during the break and some people just forget about it entirely. So
you're blaming Mushoku Tensei for being seasonal? You're blaming oh my goodness, let's not do this. Come on, please, for the love of God. This got to be the one thing that I dislike the most that you did in this whole video, right? I would have been better with you just saying that you believe Frieren got better animation. Don't say because Mushoku Tensei is longer and that it's seasonal and that Frieren did 28 episodes in a row is the reason why you're gonna give it an extra one or take one away. Like, that's not a good reason, bro. It's not a good reason. Mushoku Tensei is way longer than what Frieren is. Like, I'm glad that they went 28 episodes back to back to back and it was all great. But I mean, how are you gonna argue that with a show that's going on 3 seasons? Like, come on, bro. Like, and it's not even nowhere close to done. Mushoku Tensei is nowhere close to being over. You want it to be ongoing the whole time?
big respect to Frieren for accomplishing that. Best opening song. This is only worth 1 orange because it doesn't really matter, but Frieren's first opening was really good, and Mushoku...
Look, I'm not gonna lie, if Mushoku Tensei doesn't get best opening, like, I mean, look, the opening, like, they didn't really have an opening in Mushoku Tensei the first season, but we all know what the opening was. We all remember the song that was there, right? Banger. Season 2. Same thing, but a banger. Season 3, don't even try to play me. Don't even motherfucking try to play me.
Tensei's new opening reminds me of an early 2000s anime for some reason. However, Mushoku Tensei Season 1 had literally the best openings ever. They didn't break the immersion to play the same visuals we've seen 11 times already, but instead they animated new scenes for every episode so that the visuals were relevant to what was actually happening. I'm sorry, Frieren, but this is just a clear and obvious win for Mushoku Tensei. Best episode. I just watched episode 39 of Mushoku Tensei.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Look, at least for me, like, Turning Point is one of the best. Turning Point is I don't know if it's Turning Point 1 or it's Turning Point 2, but we all know what Turning Point I'm talking about. That is a elite level episode. Now I know Frieren got elite episodes too, but I gotta know what Frieren episode, and I need to watch it and rewatch it a couple times so I can fully understand it's beating Turning Point, bro. I gotta know.
And thought it was one of the best in the entire series, but Turning Point 2 is probably a lot of people's favorite. Yeah. Roxy's backstory in episode 18 is also one of my personal favorites, but for me, number 1 is still episode 8. This is the episode that opened up the series for me and got me really excited.
Look, I'm gonna just tell you what it is, right? The show of Mushoku Tensei was very lighthearted, right? It was so lighthearted, nothing seemed to go wrong in Mushoku Tensei, right? Even though we had the Mana disaster, that was kind of crazy, but it was very, like, we felt like he was gonna reunite with his family sooner or later. It felt like the Mana disaster wasn't the end of the world, right? It was just something Rudius had to go through. But then we got to Turning Point 2, and we learned that Rudius is not supposed to motherfucking be here, and there's someone that wants to make sure that he relays that to the motherfucker who put him here. So it was a shocker to see the show just flip how it did, right? And like, not a lot of anime can do a complete 180 like Mushoku Tensei did. Like, I'm sorry, not a lot. Not a lot can.
to continue watching it. But I won't lie to you guys, Mushoku Tensei is not getting this orange. Episode 10 of Frieren was just one of the most conclusive and satisfying endings to an arc I've ever seen. Sometimes writers like to be pussies where they don't let the hero
Because she killed herself? Okay.
kill the villain because they're afraid that the audience won't support the hero as much, but that wasn't a problem in Frieren. This episode was so good, and every time I rewatch it, I always get chills whenever Frieren unsuppresses her mana. Best characters. I was gonna do best world building, but that would have been another tie, so instead we're gonna close this video out with the one category where these anime differ completely.
You know what? There's some things like that, that Frieren, that people that like Frieren say that, just come to like a complete shock, right? Because Mushoku Tensei has elite world building. And if you want to argue that, please, we can argue it. But Mushoku Tensei has elite world building, right? And whenever I ask someone the best part of Frieren, it's not the world building, right? It's the character development. I mean, it's not the character, it's the storytelling. So if the storytelling is the same, like this is just the things I'm getting. If the storytelling is the same as Mushoku Tensei, from what this guy says, and the same as, if the storytelling is the same as Mushoku Tensei and the world building is the same as Mushoku Tensei, I need to know where is the gap in the ratings. Where is the gap in the rating between these two shows? I really need to know.
I hope you guys liked the video, by the way. It was a good fight, but this is GG.
Macron, you have no credibility. So you telling me that Mushoku doesn't have elite world building? We do not take you serious. Your credibility was gone 8 streams ago, buddy.
Frieren and Mushoku Tensei are very, very similar in terms of the world, the fantasy vibes, the slice of life structure, the music, and the brilliant animation. But the one category where they're different is characters. Frieren's characters are unfortunately the weakest part of the anime, and before you freak out, I'm not saying they're bad characters. In fact, they're pretty damn good. However, all the other parts of the anime are better. So although these two anime are very similar, the one advantage Mushoku Tensei has is its characters. The whole point of Mushoku Tensei is its characters, and every one of them changes and grows throughout the story. I remember how much I hated Eris.
I have more credibility than someone who glazes get laid anime trash. You saying that Mushoku Tensei is get laid anime trash is all I need to hear out of you. That's why you have no credibility, Macron.
At first, yet now I think she's the best written character in the whole series. Later this season, you guys will really start to appreciate Paul as a character, but I want to compare that to your first impression with him. Remember when he was a total piece of shit in the beginning, and then at some point we started to like him instead? I said this earlier about Rudius, but this applies to all the characters in the anime. They don't feel like characters, they feel like people, and that's what Mushoku Tensei does best. So with these final oranges, I officially declare Mushoku Tensei to be slightly better than Frieren. If anyone's upset about that, it's okay, because it's just oranges. It's not like Mushoku Tensei won anything of value. Frieren and Mushoku Tensei are about as similar as you can get, so that's why I think it's okay to compare them. But if you liked this video and you want to watch a similar one, I've also compared Mushoku Tensei to ReZero, although
Great video. Like, regardless, I think, as someone who hasn't even seen Frieren, I think Frieren is a great anime. From everything that I've heard about it and the few things that I've seen, it seems like a very complete anime, right? It seems like it does everything that you would want to see in an anime, and I respect it being number one. Now the thing that I can't respect is the gap between Frieren and Mushoku Tensei. That's the thing that I am so curious about and that I cannot understand. Now, I like, honestly, if you think that, that Frieren is a 9 or a 10 show, like, I understand that. But it's like, how does Mushoku Tensei get, like, is nowhere even close to the 9 rating? It's insane to me. I don't understand it, bro. But, I think there's reasons for that. I said it at the beginning of the video. People on their more high horses, dragging Mushoku down with dog water opinion, and that's just how I feel. You know, if that's just how I feel, whether you like it or not. But great video though. So you like the video? You'll like this one too. Go ahead and click on that. Yeah. You're still here? So you don't fuck with me? Alright, I'ma just.